A racing heart for no apparent reason, a mind that won't switch off, constant worry about the future. Who can relate? Anxiety seems to have become a constant companion for many people, right? And when we seek help or comfort, sometimes we hear that famous biblical advice: do not be anxious about anything. It's great advice, of course, but in practice, how do we actually do that? Does the Bible offer other clues, other messages of peace, perhaps less well known for when the heart is restless like this? What's interesting is that the Bible doesn't treat anguish as something strange. The Psalms, for example, are full of outcries, people crying out amid fear and distress. So the point isn't to pretend anxiety doesn't exist. Rather, maybe it's about looking at how these ancient texts suggest finding peace, even when the sea is stormy. Let's explore together some of these messages that perhaps you haven't stopped to calmly consider yet. Many times we think peace means having no problems, but check out Psalm 23. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Peace doesn't come because the dark valley disappears, but because there is a trustworthy companion there. Or Psalm 46, which says, God is our refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. Maybe the first key to peace isn't desperately fighting the external circumstance, but cultivating the awareness of God's presence with us, here and now, giving us security and direction, like a shepherd guiding his sheep. Feeling that constant presence amid the storm, that can change everything, don't you think? Another powerful idea appears, for example, in 1 Peter 5:7. Cast all your anxiety on him because he cares for you. Notice the verb, cast. It's not ignore, it's not pretend it doesn't exist. It's a deliberate act, an active surrender. Like saying, okay, this worry here is real, it weighs on me, but I actively choose to trust it to someone greater, someone who cares. It's almost an exercise in letting go of worry, recognizing that we don't have control over everything, and entrusting the burden to God. Have we practiced this casting? Or do we keep holding the weight, trying to solve everything with our own strength and wearing ourselves out in the process? Jesus says in John 14, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you." And Paul in Philippians 4 mentions the peace of God which surpasses all understanding. This suggests that biblical peace is not just the absence of war or external problems. It is something deeper, an inner calm that can coexist with external difficulties. A tranquility that comes not from favorable circumstances, but from a connection with the divine, a trust that anchors the soul even when everything shakes. Have you ever thought about seeking this peace that doesn't make sense according to the world's logic? Finally, there is the idea of rest. Not just sleeping well, but a deeper rest. Jesus invites, "Come to me all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest," in Matthew 11:28. And the book of Hebrews talks about entering God's rest, which seems to be a state of trusting in his work, ceasing our own agitation and self-sufficient effort. Could part of our anxiety come from this incessant attempt to control everything, to make everything happen by our own strength? Perhaps learning to rest the soul in God, to trust his care and his timing, is a powerful path to relieve the burden of restlessness. See? Beyond don't worry, the Bible offers a set of attitudes and perspectives to cultivate peace. Focus on the divine presence, actively cast your burdens, seek an inner peace independent of circumstances, and learn to rest in trust. It's not a magic formula, but an invitation to a relationship of dependence and faith. If your heart is restless, perhaps exploring these less obvious messages can bring new comfort. Of course, anxiety is serious, and seeking professional help is essential when needed. But ancient wisdom can be a valuable complement on this path. Which of these ideas touched you the most today? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if this search for peace interests you, leave your like so we know. Much peace to you, and see you next time.